Hi, are you a woman who is currently in a relationship with a man and you deep down have admitted to yourself that you, in fact, are gay, you are a lesbian, and maybe you're still in a relationship with a man? Are you somebody who's maybe struggling with that, don't know where to turn, feeling shame and scared to come out and what the ramifications of that will be? Or maybe you've already admitted to your partner, you're a woman who has admitted to her boyfriend or her husband that you are gay, and now you're looking for support to, set your new life up, living your truth. Well, if that's you, this show is for you. We've got an incredible show for you today. You're going to get a lot of support. Hi, everybody. My name is Jamie Smith. I'm a certified LGBT life coach and a certified law of attraction facilitator. And you are watching the Late Night Law of Attraction show for the LGBTQ community and friends. It's every Wednesday at 10 p.m. However, I have an announcement to make. Starting next week, it's going to be 7 p.m. Pacific. This is a little late. What was I thinking? It's all good. It's just a little too late. But we're having fun regardless. And the good thing is you can watch this the next day on YouTube. So a shout out to those of you who are watching on YouTube the day after. So the purpose of the Hangout with Jamie show is to really inspire, uplift, and empower the LGBTQ community and friends by providing you with tips and tools and inspiring guests, really so that you can go out and create your greatest LGBTQ life, right? That's what it's all about. I'm here to support you. We are all here to support you. We've got a really fun show today because it's just me and my BFF. But a lot of you know my guest, Maureen Orman, because she's the fabulous moderator of my live shows. And but she also runs an incredible group here in Vancouver called Dear John, I Love Jane. That is the topic of today's show. But before I bring her on, I also want to give a quick shout out to those of you who are watching, who are inside my G plus community called Happy, Healthy, and Gay. It's a Live Your Best LGBTQ Life. It's a G plus community and where you can go. It's completely private and secret. So if you are somebody in the LGBTQ community and you want a place where you can just be free to be yourself and learn tips and tools to go out and create your best life, then just ask to join. I'll accept you. And it's a really nice growing international community there, a safe space for you. All right, let's get started. As I mentioned, today's topic is Dear John, I Love Jane. And my guest today knows a little bit about that. Usually I start with a law of attraction teaching, but I want to jump into Maureen's story. It is so beautiful what she's been able to do. She's gone from, a challenging situation, and really something so beautiful has come out of that, which happens when you finally come out and live your truth. So Maureen Orman, introduce yourself and welcome. Most people know you already if you've been watching past shows, but welcome to the show.
Thanks, Jamie. So good to be here with you and everybody.
Thank you. So tell us a little bit about you today. You have a double function. Today you are my guest. We're going to be interviewing you, but also tell everybody your special function if this is their first time watching.
Yeah, I am the moderator, so I read any questions that people write in, and then Jamie can answer them.
Exactly. So if you have any questions, if you are watching live tonight and you want to say hello, or if you've got a question, go ahead and type in and we'll come and check in with Maureen a little bit later. I know some of you have already been writing on YouTube and stuff, so we're going to be reading your comments. Thank you so much for those of you who are watching this and who are benefiting from it. So Maureen, okay. Let's start with, you do a lot of things. You're a MELT instructor, but you also run this fabulous group called Dear John, I Love Jane here in Vancouver. Let's start with, your story, if you don't mind, to how did that come about?
Well, after a long marriage and 3 children, I met a woman and fell in love, and it was the first time that had ever happened. And everything changed. We were together for a number of years, and at the time I was feeling completely crazy because I didn't know anyone who had been through this same experience. Most of my friends were straight, and I was really looking for a group that I could go to for support. So I went to Community, which is Vancouver's queer resource center, and they didn't have anything quite like it. They had coming out groups, but that was a little different because that was for people who had always known that they were gay, whereas for me and for, I suspected, a lot of people, it was more an unconsciousness. And so, long story short, I started my own group at Community, and that was 4.5 years ago, and the group is thriving, and there have been literally hundreds of women who have come to the group over that time, just looking for support in navigating this completely new life, and a real about face, and dealing with family reactions, friends' reactions, and very often the biggest one is their children, if they have children. That's a big one.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So your story is like you kind of knew you were lesbian, but sort of was it you were in denial, or
I didn't unconscious about it really. I just thought that my experience was what every woman experienced, and it wasn't until it really hit me full on in the face when I met someone that I had to acknowledge what the truth was. And that was very liberating. It was difficult and it was really challenging. But as any marriage breakup is, regardless of the circumstances. But anyway, it all turned out really, really well. And I'm closer to my kids than ever. And my ex-husband and I now have a really great relationship, better than even I think when we were married.
That's so awesome.
So, yeah, there's just so much freedom in telling the truth and living authentically.
I love that you said that, because this is really the purpose of the Hangout with Jamie show. One of the purposes is to really provide you with law of attraction tips so that you can go out and create your ideal life. So you can really create your ideal coming out. I mean, there's going to be challenges. I mean, let's get real, right? I mean, I remember somebody saying, if you think that it's going to be a walk in the park coming out, it's not always like that. I was really lucky. It was for me. It was very easy, but very often there is backlash when you come out. And I think everybody needs to know and be prepared for that, right? So there was backlash for you? I mean, that must have been quite scary too.
Well, I mean, not so much. My family was actually really supportive. I think it was hard for my kids. I have 3 daughters, but they all accepted it over time. But I mean, there was just stuff with the marriage breaking up and their loyalty to their father and all that. And he's a great guy. So there was all that. Yeah. So I don't think it can be easy. Well, maybe it can, but it's a tough transition.
It is.
And I think we have to have compassion for the people around us who may be having a problem with it, that, you know, they're struggling too.
That's so beautiful. I just think it's amazing that you were able to go through this, and now you have an amazing relationship with everybody. And that's what I really want for, this is why we're doing the show, not to just you know, showcase Maureen's life and expose her life, but really to really help anyone out there who's maybe where you were, you know, 4 years ago, and scared and nervous about what the repercussions are going to be. But one of the things I want to show you guys is that who are watching, is that this is a phrase that you can use even for coming out. And I know some of you, when you read this, you might go, oh, right. But here's what I've learned as a law of attraction trainer, is that so many people are focusing on what they don't want. So if you are out there and you're like, I'm worried about how my husband's going to react, I don't want him to get mad, I don't want this, I don't want it to go badly. So many people are subconsciously, they end up attracting what they fear, or they end up attracting what they don't want. So I'm going to just share this little phrase with you, and you can change the wording however you want. But as you're going through this difficult time for you, if it's a challenge for you, I'm going to invite you to look at this card here, which says, I'm in the process of attracting and allowing all that I need to do to have all that I need to have, to do, and to know to manifest my ideal fill in the blank coming out experience, or whatever words resonate with you. And I want you to know that you really can. It may not be easy, like Maureen said, but you can really come to a place where it will get better, like that campaign, It Gets Better. So Maureen, walk us back a little bit about, like, what did you do to support yourself through the coming out? Like, was there a moment when you were really afraid? And what did you do to support yourself?
Yeah. There was a lot of time that I was really afraid. I was afraid that I would lose some relationships in my life. And in fact, there was one that I did lose for a number of years, and then it came back around. But it was someone who had a big issue with what I was doing and didn't agree with it. But I had to accept that this was not my problem. This was her problem. And I needed to live authentically. And that's what life's about.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And in terms of, like, the law of attraction, as you know, the law of attraction, this universal energy, is eavesdropping on our conversations and in our thoughts. It's constantly eavesdropping on our moods and our feelings. And if we're in shame, we're going to attract experiences that mirror back how we're feeling internally. And so, the greatest thing we can do is to come out of the closet if it's safe to do so. And to, our natural state is a high vibration. Our natural state is happy, people. You may be down here, what you're going through may not feel so good right now, and you might not be able to go from here to here overnight. Did you, Maureen, go from here to here overnight? It was
not overnight, no.
Right. It's a process. So we invite you to start moving up that vibrational scale. And what would you suggest somebody could do if they are, they're married to a man, and maybe they're just like, they're in fear? What would you suggest to somebody that was in your shoes? What could they do?
Well, come to my group if you're into Vancouver, if you're in Vancouver. But talk to somebody, talk to a counselor, talk to a therapist, get some support. That's so important, because it's so easy to feel like you're just crazy.
Yeah.
And that no one can possibly understand. And, a good counselor can make a huge difference in navigating this, because it's such a different world. It's a completely different world.
Yeah.
But I've never felt so at home. And I know I'm in the right place. And there were times when I doubted it.
Yeah. And you're
too traumatic.
Exactly. And now you're attracting all sorts of wonderful experiences, right? And it's like what I say, this whole law of attraction thing is not about becoming more happy. It's actually just peeling away the layers of fear and negativity that are covering up who we naturally are. And when we can let go of those, we can strip away that, we come to our authentic selves. And it's such a beautiful place to live in. So to just tell us quickly how I think it's amazing. Not everybody comes out and starts a freaking group. What made you decide to start this incredible group? And tell us a little bit about your group. If you are in Vancouver, tell everybody a little bit about it and what you do there.
Well, as I said earlier, I went to a community looking for a group and ended up starting my own, and no one was sure there would be a real demand for this. But there were, our very first meeting, there were about 10 people there. And it's just grown. It's a big group now. And we for the most part, one of the things that is so important, that is always stressed at every meeting, is the confidentiality, so that it's really a completely safe place to come and share your experience. And everyone doesn't do that right away, but for most people, they feel safe enough that they can really talk about their lives and what has brought them to this place in their life that they are now. And nobody's a professional. We're not trained counselors. It's not like that. It's peer support. So we just listen. We provide a place where we can listen. We don't give people advice and tell them what we think they should do. They get to just be themselves and express what's going on. And what they will find inevitably is that there are many other women who are going through or have gone through something really similar. So we have that in common, and that's what is the glue that binds this group together, and why it's been so powerful and long running. And I hope it runs for a lot more years, and maybe sometime someone else will take it over. But there's also interest in groups in other cities, because I think, I don't know, maybe there are groups like this in other cities. I haven't heard of any, but I know for sure that there is a need for them. And so, yeah, that's something we were going to talk about, Jamie, is that if people are interested in starting a group in their city, you know, get in touch with me, and I'll give you what I have learned over the last 4.5 years.
You're so awesome. I know I could see, like, I have this vision of Dear John, I Love Jane groups happening all over. It would be so beautiful for people to receive the kind of support that you all give to each other. It's just so beautiful. I'm so proud of you, really, like so proud of you.
And Jamie, can I just say one thing about the name of the group?
Yes.
Dear John, I Love Jane was the name of a book, and it's a collection of essays written by all different women about their experience with this subject. And I loved the name so much. After I read this book, I contacted the editors and asked if I could use the name. And so they gave permission to use the name, which is such a great name because it's so descriptive of what we do.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to just read a couple. I'm hearing an echo. I hope. Do you hear an echo?
No.
No? Okay, it's gone. Thank God. Okay, so I'm just going to read a couple of quotes that I found. These are just beautiful quotes. And then Maureen, if you wouldn't mind just checking to see the board to see if anybody wrote any comments there. And then we're going to go and read the comments that other people have left on prior shows. And I just want to also mention one quick thing, you know, you talked about, which I think is so brilliant, is that if you, and that's what I did, I was looking for a soulful community of like-minded friends here in Vancouver. And I went to meetup.com, which is great. I didn't really see what I was looking for. And I started my own group called Happy, Healthy, and Gay. And we started with 4 people. Now there's like 300 people. And I actually have a show about creating a soulful LGBTQ community. I can't remember which episode it is, maybe 5 or 6. And you can go and I give you step-by-step instructions on how to start your own meetup group there as well. So if you don't see what you're looking for, start it. This is what the show is all about. It's about helping you to take total responsibility for your life. Because when I did my life coach training, one of the first things one of my teachers said to me was, I've got good news and bad news. The bad news is nobody's coming to save you. The good news, nobody's coming to save you. So this is really about us taking responsibility for our lives and creating the lives we truly want. And I just want to read a couple of quotes. This is by Ellen Page. I'm tired of hiding and I'm tired of lying by omission. I suffered for years because I was scared to be out. I'm here today because I am gay. And she's doing such great work in the community. This is a quote by Tom Daly, the Olympic athlete. I felt like it was my dirty little secret, like I had chains around me and I couldn't say anything and I couldn't be who I wanted to be. I felt so alone and trapped in who I was. For people to be so supportive about it, it has been amazing. I think that's what a lot of people also don't realize is very often they get way more support than they do negativity, which is awesome. And the last quote is by Portia de Rossi, Ellen's wife. Having to hide something like that just ruined me. It really, really killed me. I really honestly think that anybody who is openly gay and visible is powerful. It doesn't matter what you do, you are impacting people just by being you. You are enough just as you are. And you know, one of the reasons why I decided to do the show for the LGBTQ community was a quote that I've mentioned many times from Karen McCrocklin, who's been on the show. She's an LGBT activist, amazing, amazing woman. And she said that being LGBT is not something to be overcome, but it's an opportunity to use our higher purpose as healers and teachers. That's really, I believe, who we are and why we're here. So Maureen, what are the comments? What are people saying? Anybody saying anything today? And if not, what are the comments from last prior shows?
Okay, well, here's one. Hi, Jamie. I recently saw you on one of Michael Logier's Hang Out with Michael. episode. And I'm so glad that I was moved to take the time to watch your first episode. I think what you're doing is beautiful and paradigm changing. And I know you're making a huge difference in the lives of so many people who just need to be loved. Best wishes for increasing success.
Aw.
Yeah. And then one from Penny Petty, who says, great tips. Put boundaries in place, mind my own vibrations. People will treat me the way I allow them to. Very important information for your show, Jamie.
Awesome.
And I just wanted to say I really like the change from gay life to LGBTQ life, which I think you originally live your best gay life and now it's your best LGBTQ life.
Yes.
And then finally, from Michael Lozier, I'm so proud of my friend Jamie, who's created his Hangout with Jamie show for the LGBTQ community. I was featured on his show and we talked about law of attraction and the story that we tell ourselves. If you or someone you know who is having challenges with their confidence, self-esteem, or ownership of their sexual identity, please share this Hangout with them. Having the right mindset and tools to use will help it get better.
Awesome. Thank you. And thanks to everybody who continues to watch and comments. Really, really appreciate it. Of course, those of you, another quick announcement, I'm going to be on Michael Lozier's show. He's the author of the book, Law of Attraction. It's really one of the books that changed my life the most. And I'm going to be on his show, hangoutwithmichael.com, this Friday morning, offering even more law of attraction tips to help you just feel better and attract your best life. So I'll be on his show on Friday morning. And then Penny Petty, who commented, I'm going to be on her show at 5 p.m. Pacific. She's got a really fun show where you just hang out and drink wine and learn law of attraction tips. And I think it's at pennypetty.com. So thank you very much. Okay, so we're coming up to the end of our show today, but I just want to give one last reminder that, you know, the law of attraction has one job description, is to match our vibration. So really anything you can do to go in the direction of feeling better about who you are is going to help you just attract better things. And, you know, the sky's the limit. You deserve it. So, Maureen, how can people get in touch with you if they want to?
The email address is right there. No, that's the website, isn't it?
No, that's Dear John, I Love Jane, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So they can contact me that way and I will get right back to you.
Right, and Maureen is offering to help you set up your own group in your own city. So you can email her there. And awesome. So any last comments before we wrap up today? I think we've given a lot of awesome tips. I just actually want to say one last thing quickly, that, you know, there's also, if you're looking for immediate support, I found this online. My printer ran out of ink, so I couldn't print out one of those cards, but it's the National Coming Out line. If you just need some support, they're open from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. every Monday through Friday. And
that's great.
I'm gonna write the number down. It's kind of, I don't know if you can see on my, but it's right here, 1-888-843-4664. It's the National Coming Out hotline. And they also have a website, which is help@glbthotline.org. I'm going to, I don't know if you can see it, there we go. I'm going to write it below so you can, you'll see it, so you don't have to be scrambling to write it down. So there we go. There's some other resources for you to get some support right away. All right. Maureen, any last words? Anything you want to tell anybody who's out there who's struggling?
Just, it gets better.
Yeah.
It gets better the more that you live your authentic life and tell the truth about yourself, the better your life gets and the more joy and vitality and energy you have in life. Yeah. Oh, great words of wisdom. Thank you, Maureen. I love you so much. Thank you for being here today and sharing your story. So brave of you, really. I know you're going to impact so many women watching today. So thank you for that. So coming up next week, as I mentioned, the book, Michael Lozier, best-selling author Michael Lozier is going to be my guest
next Wednesday at the new time slot of 7 p.m. Pacific. We're just inversing it, at 10 p.m. Pacific, because my mom couldn't watch it. She wants to watch my show. So we had to, we're going to make it a little bit earlier. And so he's going to be on, and we're going to be talking about unfinished business. So clutter, anything that's unfinished in your life, emails, all sorts of stuff, and how it blocks us energetically from really creating the lives that, you know, extraordinary lives. And so there's that. And I'm very, very pleased to announce my new monthly feature. It's going to be the last Wednesday of this month, called Ask the LGBTQ Coaches. I'm going to have a bunch of coaches on every month. The last Wednesday of every month, there's going to be a panel of coaches and therapists, all to support you. And you guys can either come on the panel and ask your questions to us, or you can type them in, and you can get some free coaching. Anything you're struggling with or any questions you have, we're here to support you. So thanks for watching, everybody. Be sure to go to hangoutwithjamie.com and sign up for weekly show notifications. And thanks again, Maureen. Much love to everybody.
Thanks, Jamie.
Bye.
Bye.